Hey, this is Jeff. Welcome to walkthrough 19 of Belthan's Quo Vagis. While we're waiting for issue 12 of the magazine to print, which will complete A Picture is Worth 1,000 Caps, I'm going to wrap up a few loose ends and show you some things in the mod that didn't come up while I was doing the quests, one of which involves shooting more models.
Nice work cleaning up the town. What?
You know the bar is branching out by publishing a magazine, right?
Am I the only one who thinks this is stupid?
Probably not, but we are bringing a lot of caps into the local economy.
Whatever.
Maybe I'd better cut to the chase. I'm recruiting models for the magazine.
Don't let me stop you.
I mean, I want you to be in it. You can buy lots of ammo with what we pay.
Okay.
Sweet. You know where the studio is. See you there.
All right. Goodbye.
Machete's usually one of the first models I recruit. She just didn't fit in any of the theme combinations for my high score attempt. You should pose for the magazine. With you in it, we'd make a fortune.
I probably shouldn't do this, but you know what? You're right. Every little bit helps.
Malibu's probably the first model a lot of people recruit. She's right here in the building, she doesn't require a speech challenge, and of course she's beautiful. She's also one of the models who starts slow and improves as Larry encourages her, so definitely stick around until the photo shoot's over.
Welcome to Megaton.
You may have guessed that with Malibu and Machete, I'm going for a Canterbury Commons hometown issue. So why am I in Megaton? Well, this is where Tanya Kristoff, aka the Antagonizer, retires if you resolve the superhuman gambit peacefully. If you install Quo Vagis before you do that quest, it's easier to ask her on her way out of her lair, but I did that a long time ago. She has a really wide wander radius, but she scavenges in the area around Megaton and Springvale, so she should be around here someplace.
Please, just leave me alone. I want to leave all this behind me.
I see you settled in a place where ants are common. Planning a sequel?
No, all those people. I can't help thinking about them.
If there's a well-written finale, people sometimes forgive the villain.
How could they, after what I've done?
With no powers and no costume, they'll listen to the human side of your story.
Do you really think so?
They can't identify with someone they fear. Remove the fear and they will.
Very well.
This issue will be your best ever. You got the no costume part, right?
I understand. Shall we go?
Tanya doesn't have props, but she does have her supervillain costume. Or at least part of it. Anyway, as you might expect, she is an elite cover girl. I have enough film in the can for at least one more issue, so I'm taking a quick detour to show you two of the most obscure clues in the mod. They're completely optional, and you can get them at any time, but they don't mean much until you investigate Vaultel. The first one's here in the Capitol building, which apparently I never cleared out. It's pretty cool that the Gauss rifle knockdown effect even works on behemoths. That's great. I only lose like 20 hit points to the behemoth and then I get owned by a sentry bot. There it is. The first clue is here in the conference hall, basically the deepest point into the Capitol building, this constituent request note. We know from Agent Brucker's journal that his orders came from the Senate Intelligence Committee. And the note says, Senator Craiglin, I have some news of interest regarding our mutual friend Larry Slater. Not to diminish your antitrust victory, but his counsel may have been distracted. They've been getting into the construction business with some of our suppliers. The clearances and contracts are all valid, so my hands are tied. However, I understand you have legislation pending that would streamline prosecution of national security cases. Sincerely, Roger Neiman, Vault-Tec Legal. Now, we know from the Luma screens in the Playhouse that Moe's movie Red Menace was at the center of the Supreme Court decision that basically legalized porn, and we know from the news clippings in Larry's office that Senator Craiklin had something to do with that case. We know that sometime later, Fresca's movie Vault Boy's Day Off triggered a trademark dispute with Vault-Tec, and Stoney won that case too. So both of these guys had reason to dislike lollipops in general, and Larry and Stoney in particular. However, we know from Fallout canon that Vault-Tec was such a key defense contractor that they were virtually another branch of the government. So why a Dear Senator letter about intellectual property infringement? Let's go get the other clue. Hey, I didn't clear this place out so Enclave refugees could move in. What the hell? Oh. Did the explosion let your death claw out?
I win again!
Issue 12 printed. Anyway, the other clue is here at Vault-Tec headquarters. Ordinarily, you'd clear this place out during Agatha's song, but when I did it, I already knew where the violin was, so everything in here's probably still alive. I have a slight hoarding tendency, but, yeah, I should probably use a couple stim packs here.
Now try and hide from them! Found you!
The other clue is in this office on the administration level, like the one in the Capitol building, just about as far in as you can get. And it's really easy to miss. It's under a broken shelf on the bottom of this bookcase. Reply from Senator Craiklin. Mr. Neiman, your patriotism is greatly appreciated. Rest assured, I'm very much interested in Mr. Slater's suspicious and undoubtedly seditious activities. However, my staff will take it from here. We wouldn't want to create the impression that the inquiry is simple retribution for previous infringement your company has suffered. I trust we can count on you to provide any documentation and other resources we require to proceed. Okay, call me a conspiracy nut, but that sounds to me like they were just creating a paper trail to justify an investigation that was really about something else. We did it! 12 brand new issues of Lollipops magazine.
I am overcome. I took the liberty of placing a special memento on your desk. It saw me through many long years when I dared not hope the Lollipops empire would ever be restored.
Thanks. But we're on a roll now. What if more women want to pose for us?
I'm afraid the distribution channel is saturated. No further advanced sales revenue will be forthcoming. However, it never hurts to have film in the can. If you find additional models you'd like me to photograph, I'd be delighted to oblige.
That finishes a picture is worth 1,000 caps. So now we just kick back and let the caps roll in?
I believe we've earned the opportunity to relax and enjoy the fruits of our labors. I couldn't have done it without you. You have my thanks.
Lollipops magazine, issue number 1. Larry was right. Tastes have changed in the last 200 years. If the pampered libertines in this issue ganged up on a radroach, you'd put your money on the radroach. On the other hand, every page radiates an infectiously suave hipster attitude, and the spec-heavy article on the 2060 Corvega coupe will come in handy for salvaging other pre-war tech. Your barter, repair, and speech skills are permanently increased by 10. Unfortunately, they're not, because they were already 100, but that completes my Vintage Lollipops magazine collection. And here's issue 12, the Rivet City Security issue with Commander Danvers on the cover. 875 caps, not quite perfect, but we did get the double theme bonus. Now, despite what Larry just told us, we can keep publishing magazines, so I'm going to set the layout for issue 13 with a Canterbury Commons hometown theme. Tanya, aka the Antagonizer, is obviously the cover. Malibu is beautiful, so she goes in front. And Machete, despite her gruff personality, was quite naughty in front of the camera, so she goes in back. See what Larry thinks. And then we'll have Zen patch up my gear and grab a nap to heal up. I've set the layout.
Hometown issues are always popular, a source of pride for the residents and a bit of envy elsewhere.
What do you think of the cover girl?
An eccentric and notorious celebrity, the perfect cover girl. And a far more satisfying conclusion than the Ants of Agony. I collected graphic novels, purely as an investment, of course.
Of course. All right, take it to press.
I'll get started immediately.
Any luck sequencing that virus?
The payload would take years to analyze, but that's not important. Swapping it for our own would be easy, and the propagation mechanism is perfect. Of course, I can't say when we'll have a payload of our own to propagate, if ever, but if we do, deployment is no longer a problem. Thanks.
Now, a few episodes back, Duke said the file systems on the Voltel computers weren't factory reset, which is how he heard about FEV. And that is why I think Vault-Tec was so desperate to find Voltel. It wasn't about porn parodies of their mascot or the general bad blood between the two companies. It wasn't even about the equipment or the patents. It was about the oh shit moment when they realized evidence of their unethical FEV experiments might have fallen into civilian hands. You
came to visit. You'll never guess what I found out in the wastes when I was supposed to be patrolling. Here, this is for you.
Want to do something special for me, baby? Pose nude for my magazine.
I ought to slap you.
But you won't. It's a compliment. Besides, you don't care what people think.
Oh, no one understands me.
Sure I do. The studio has pre-war makeup. Pale as the moonlight.
Oh, thank you for remembering.
There's wardrobe, too. Some things I think you'll like.
Maybe a pretty black dress. I'm going to go check it out.
Bittercup was automatic because she's my girlfriend. Even if she isn't, you can taunt her into posing if Red or Kimball were already in the magazine because she doesn't want to be out-rebelled by them. Otherwise, there's a speech challenge.
You're a natural.
How's it going?
Hey, Malibu. Another customer I haven't met.
I've heard a few things about you. What do you need?
It's my job to make sure the customers are happy. Enjoying yourself?
Absolutely. Cheers. Hey there.
Mrs. Ewers? I'm from the catalog company, and I have wonderful news.
Yes. What can I do for you on this beautiful day?
You're our 1 millionth customer. You've won many fabulous prizes.
Excellent.
And as part of the prize, you get to be a model for our spring collection.
Splendid. Simply splendid.
So, are you ready to collect your prizes and be a model?
Certainly.
Yeah, lace stockings and sneakers. I should have told Larry not to let the crazy woman dress herself. High heels and athletic socks, even better. And apparently her favorite items from our spring collection.
You're a natural.
At modeling, not wardrobe. And while this seems like exploiting the delusional, 50 caps and a stylish basic black outfit with damage resistance of 12, those are fabulous prizes. I'm still being paid for magazines. I assume demand was greater than expected?
You are quite correct. I'll spare you the logistical details.
I've set the layout.
Oh, a Girl Next Door issue. One of my personal favorites.
What do you think of the cover girl, Kimba?
She'll pique the reader's interest. Not a bad choice.
All right, take it to press.
I'll get started immediately.
Did you know I'm publishing the first new magazine in 200 years?
Feeling a bit nostalgic, are we?
Yep. My partner even taught me pre-war slang. Anyone ever say you're a MILF?
Other than you? No.
It means mannered, intelligent, lovely female. It suits you perfectly.
You're a real charmer.
Thanks. Anyway, I could really use your help with the magazine.
You need me? For what?
We need beautiful women to be models. It pays pretty well. Interested?
Sure.
It's mostly art and fashion. You'd be posing in some skimpy outfits or even nude.
Okay.
I don't know if Larry never told us or if we're just not telling the models, but there's a different definition of MILF every time you recruit one. And if you don't know, just Google it.
You seem tense. Relax.
It means my intimate little friend, which I'm hoping you'll become. It means mighty interesting, looks fun. You do like to have fun, don't you? Rosie qualifies as a MILF, but it might be better to use her for a Republic of Dave hometown issue. Well, Republic of Rosie, since I helped her win the election.
I just can't thank you enough.
I run a news magazine. Interested in an interview and photo op?
I can't believe my ears.
One thing, you need to pose nude or it won't sell. For international relations?
You're right. It's like my duty, isn't it? Yeah.
My studio's right down in Canterbury Commons whenever your schedule permits.
I'll go right now. Welcome back, my good friend.
Oasis is safe and your wisdom has inspired me. I need your help.
You need me? For what?
To help outsiders appreciate natural beauty, as it's appreciated here.
I suppose I owe you a debt. There's no telling what may have befallen the Great One if someone else had gotten here first.
Capturing your natural beauty on film would be a permanent testimonial to Oasis.
Excellent.
Can you come to my studio in Canterbury Commons? I guarantee safe passage.
Certainly.
The difficulty of persuading Maple is dependent on how you dealt with Harold, and as she has props, she's an elite cover girl, but,
Hey.
I really just wanted to see her without her hat.
Just be yourself, but more.
There we go. I guess Oasis is a little too off the grid to be concerned with coiffure.
It's always good to see one of our number here. Have you brought tales and trophies of justice?
I have.
Then you've been busy. Good. Show me what you have. Good deeds should not go unrewarded, and so I will add on a bonus to your normal bounty.
Creating order out of chaos is, well, a tall order.
Yeah, that isn't very funny.
Sorry, no pun intended. But seriously, how do you find time to just be a woman?
Are you trying to piss me off?
No, I value my life, but I bet you could use some R&R.
I'm listening.
There's nothing sexier than a strong woman. You should pose for my magazine.
You're a cocky little thing, aren't you? I like that.
Great. The next time you're off duty, drop by the studio.
Roger that.
Sonora is also an elite cover girl. And also a character who never takes off her hat. Well, there you have it. That's disappointing. Apparently she's the only character who doesn't take off her hat, even for a photo shoot. Okay, Cross won't pose unless she's a follower, and I'd have to fire Fox to hire her. I'll be back if I need somebody to round out a women in uniform issue. Or she also qualifies for the exotic bonus because she's a cyborg. But while I'm here, we'll see if we can find Scribe McLean. If you remember back in episode 12 when Dan was telling Brittany about his daughter's promotion,
Hail.
this is her.
What aid can I offer you, outsider?
Scribe McLean? Are you Brittany McLean's granddaughter?
Yeah? What do you need?
We work together. She's very proud of you.
Thanks. I appreciate the pick-me-up.
You know, you should come work for me too.
You're kidding me, right?
A lot of models have good and evil recruitment options. Sometimes it doesn't matter except for role-playing purposes, and sometimes coercing them is easier, but you lose karma. This is one of the rare cases where the evil option just flat out doesn't work. If you tell Jameson Kel's a mutant, she lets it slide because the Brotherhood is so busy, but Kel will never speak to you again. Anyway, you're young and bright. You could help cure DeLeon syndrome.
You're right, but I can't. I ran some scans on the Enclave positions at the Purifier, and I have to get back to work.
Well, at least pose for the magazine. You could visit Brittany while we set up.
Well, okay.
Yes, just like that.
It's kind of weird how the controversy over the main quest is so dependent on context. Kel has DeLeon syndrome, and there is a strong family resemblance to Brittany, but she has a normal job, so you probably wouldn't even notice if you didn't know. I mean, the Brotherhood didn't. Speaking of DeLeon syndrome,
Can I help you?
did Sally's DNA sample give away any advanced alien secrets?
It's not actually that far ahead of human science. Just different. We had to reprogram the simulator for scenarios we assumed were impossible. Unfortunately, despite some superficial similarities, the alien modifications and DeLeon syndrome affect different sequences. There isn't going to be a cut-and-paste miracle cure, but it's opened up new avenues of research. For the first time in years, I'm optimistic.
I almost forgot to give you the grand total for the first 12 issues. 11,875 caps out of a possible 12,000. That's a new personal best. I'm not sure if 12,000 is even possible with a male character. With a female character, if you pose for the magazine yourself, I'm pretty sure it is. But if you geek out with some math, for a full 12-issue run, there are 2.85 times 10 to the 67th possible combinations. That's approximately the number of atoms in the Milky Way galaxy. So I'm not going to find it by brute force. But considering how close I got with this run, I think I can do it. Next week, I'll show you the reward for publishing 24 issues. If I think of any other loose ends, I'll tie them up. And if I have time, I'll do a speed run with a female character so I can show you some of the alternate dialogue and quest endings, like what happens if you are abusive in the members-only area, or what happens if you do kill Larry. And if I hit 12,000, you can see what the layouts were. If I don't have time, I'll make a bonus episode, but then Fallout 4 comes out, so don't expect any videos for a while after that.
Hey.
Hey, baby. Anyway, I'll see you then.